Hey, what's going on, everybody on YouTube? Just trying to go live test this out, man. I ain't never done it. Just want to see how it is. A little random little talk about boxing, man. Interesting. A lot of stuff going on in boxing. Had two good weekends in a row of boxing action. Wild Ortiz, great fight. Uh, Turnaround this week. You had Mikey and Sergey Lipinets. Another good fight. So just overall, boxing going strong right now. Canelo got caught up with the clenbuterol. It says it's in the meat. So I don't know how true that is, but this is my first time ever going live. Look like we got one person on here. First of all, the Canelo thing. Um, it's interesting to me because I know a lot of Mexican fighters have got caught up with the whole clenbuterol thing in the past. Uh, but just looking at his transformation over time and look at how much size and mass he's put on, um, it's kind of crazy to think that it was clenbuterol. Uh, Trying to let my son in the house. The alarm ain't gonna go off. Ain't gonna do nothing to go off. It ain't gonna go off. It's just gonna beep. But trying to try to give him the benefit of the doubt. But along with the judges and everything he's got going on, I cannot believe looking at him and watching how much mass he done put on recently. Um, I kind of got to think lean towards him being guilty. But he's gonna get off scot free. The WBC and I think the WBA are already bagging him without any investigation. So it's kind of sad. Triple G to me only shot he has to win the fight is if he knocks him out. If he doesn't knock him out, I don't see how he wins on the cards. And I do think Abel and Tom Loeffler, they need to be a little bit more verbal and they need to make a fuss out of it. Because if it was Triple G on the other end, the fight would probably be canceled. In my opinion, that's what I think. Uh, that's what I believe. I do believe the fight will be canceled or postponed if Triple G was the one that got caught up with the clenbuterol or failed any kind of drug test. To be honest, I know Abel said Triple G had been tested like, man, I can't remember how many times, but it was a large number of times he's already been tested. So far, you know. So hopefully they ramp it up on Canelo and they need to do a hair follicle test just to make sure, and also he needs to provide information of where he ate it, and they need to investigate it. I think that's only fair. And also the illegal hand wraps. Abel said he went into Canelo's locker room or dressing room before the fight, and he saw them. He called it stack wrapping Canelo's hands. He said, I guess somebody from the Nevada State Athletic, excuse me, tongue tied. But the Nevada State Athletic Commission, or whatever you call it, was in there. And he expressed his concerns, and the guy told him that he was going to throw him out the locker room or the dressing room, which is crazy to me. So that means Canelo hands were wrapped illegal in that fight also. And he still, in my opinion, I had a 7-5 Triple G. One judge had it 118, 110 or something crazy like that. And then, um, it ended up being a draw, which to me was it's just bad for boxing, man. In my opinion, a lot of people think that Canelo won the fight, which I don't. I thought Triple G won the fight, and that's what I thought. So on to another fight that was Deontay Wilder. I gotta figure out how to work this stuff, man. I don't know how to work none of this stuff on here. Was Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz, which turned out to be a really good fight. Luis Ortiz started off fighting away. I thought he should fight moving away from the right hand and trying to counter punch. He did have a problem landing some of his counters because of his reach. Uh, he didn't have, his reach when they actually measured him, his height and his reach were a lot shorter than we originally thought. So I think he had the right game plan starting off, but it was hard for him to counter because of his reach wasn't long enough to reach Deontay Wilder. But he did a really good job. I mean, I thought I gave him most of the beginning rounds. I can't remember what my scorecard was. It was actually my birthday that night. I ended up having to work that Saturday, and I fell asleep like right after the fight. And I can't remember what my scorecard was, but I had Ortiz up. Wilder, I think, got the knocked Ortiz down at the end of the fifth round. Ortiz got himself together. Then in the seventh, landed a big shot on Wilder, shook him up, and Ortiz went to work. The eighth round, they did give Deontay Wilder a little bit of I won't say a break at the beginning of the round, but they did give him a little bit of time to gather himself. And by the 10th round, I feel like Luis Ortiz had burnt himself out. And I also think Deontay Wilder hit him. I won't say it's a forearm, but he kind of hit him with his forearm in the back of the head in one of those wild windmill. Um, he gets wild and windmill. But that was a good win for Deontay Wilder. It's good that he finally got a good name on his resume. I'm not gonna sit on here and say the guy was old or, he deserves full credit for it. And hopefully we get to fight with AJ next. That'll be nice. That's a fight I would like to see. Um, that fight I do have concern for Anthony Joshua as far as him tiring out, but I do think Anthony Joshua, if he fights behind his jab, and sets up his punches right, I think he can win that fight. But yeah, Wilder always has a shot because he's got that one big right hand that he can land, and we have seen AJ drop. I do think that AJ can drop Wilder. I think if AJ gets Wilder in the spot that Ortiz had him in, to me AJ is more of I won't say precise puncher, but he puts his punches together a lot better. And I do think if he has Wilder the way that Ortiz had him in the seventh round, I do think he would get Wilder out of there. But also the same, if Wilder gets him in trouble, he'll get him out of there. To me, it's a 50-50 fight. I can't pick a winner in that fight because it's one of those fights where whoever, lands the big shot first is probably going to be the one to win it. So it's kind of tough to call that one. See what else going on in boxing. You had Mikey Garcia fighting limping it. I didn't think that was. I don't want to say I called that a cherry pick, but I do feel like Mikey picked the easiest guy at 140 to go fight. I wish he would have went up there and fought a 140 pounder when Crawford was at 140. He didn't want no part of 140 at that point. So he went and got the easiest guy at 140, and then beat him up. I do think Mikey is a really fundamentally sound fighter. You can tell his brother's a trainer because he's well groomed. He doesn't do anything flashy. Just very basic, very fundamentally sound, and he's a really good boxer. I think he'll give anybody at 140 at this point a good fight. 135. Him and Linares, that'll be a good fight. I do think him and Lomachenko will be a good fight. I think he is a little bit big for Lomachenko, but Lomachenko does have the skill and the foot movement and lateral movement, I think, to give Mikey a lot of problems. Mikey, to me, is not the fleetest of foot guy. I do think Lomachenko's footwork would give him a shot to win that fight. Some people think Mikey will blow him out the water. I don't feel like that. At 140, I do think Terrence Crawford will smoke Mikey Garcia. And Mikey did not want, he didn't want none of it. And as far as him calling out Earl Spence, that's crazy. I don't know why he would call out Earl Spence. I don't know why he wants those problems. But it seemed like to me he just doing it, Mike calls out a lot of people. He's been calling out Loma for a long time too. Rumors going around that Loma and Linares gonna fight May 12th. That'll be a good fight. I got Loma winning that fight. Just off boxing ability. I think Linares is good, but I do think Loma will probably make him look average, in my opinion. Man, it's just a quick one. This first time ever doing this, so I just want to jump on and see how this all worked out. Peace.